This week, the city of Kyiv, Ukraine, was rocked by a relentless and deadly missile barrage, lighting up the night sky and shattering any lingering hopes for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The attack was sudden, brutal, and left the city reeling. 23 innocent civilians lost their lives in the chaos, as emergency crews and rescue workers desperately searched through the rubble, pulling survivors and the injured from the ruins of shattered homes and apartment blocks. Meanwhile, diplomatic talks that once offered a glimmer of hope have now completely stalled, leaving negotiation tables empty and the future uncertain. Moscow's latest attack signals a hardening stance from the Kremlin, making the prospect of peace feel more distant and unattainable than ever before, as tensions escalate on both sides. For ordinary Ukrainians, this is now daily life, living in constant fear, taking shelter in subway stations and basements as air raid sirens wail overhead. Yet amid the terror and loss, the people of Kyiv show remarkable resilience, comforting one another and holding on to hope, even as their world is turned upside down. The world watches these events unfold, but for the people of Kyiv, survival and protecting their loved ones remain their only focus in these dark and uncertain times. Baseball was shaken as illegal bookmaker Matthew Bowyer was sentenced for enabling the theft of $17 million from Shohei Ohtani by his former interpreter. The scandal exposed vulnerabilities in sports, raising urgent questions about athlete protection as legal betting expands. For teams and leagues, the challenge now is to rebuild trust and prevent future betrayals. Across Canada, a heated debate is unfolding. Should homeowners have broader, more explicit rights to defend themselves and their property from intruders? The question strikes at the heart of Canadian values around safety, justice, and personal responsibility. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has proposed a castle doctrine, aiming to clarify and potentially expand self-defense laws, especially for those who feel vulnerable in their own homes. Supporters argue it empowers ordinary citizens, giving them peace of mind and the legal backing to protect their families without fear of prosecution. But critics warn such changes could escalate violence, disproportionately impact marginalized groups, and undermine efforts to reduce harm in Canadian communities. The nation now wrestles with a complex legal and ethical dilemma. Where does legitimate self-defense end, and when does it cross the line into excessive force? The outcome of this debate could fundamentally reshape not only Canadian law, but also the way society views safety, justice, and the rights of its citizens. In a landmark decision, a U.S. appeals court ruled that most Trump-era tariffs on Chinese goods were unlawfully imposed, sending shockwaves through the world of international trade and policy. This ruling could allow importers to reclaim billions of dollars paid in tariffs, potentially reshaping the financial landscape for countless American companies that rely on Chinese imports. The decision not only opens the door for massive refunds, but also raises questions about the limits of presidential power over trade policy. It could force lawmakers and policymakers to rethink how the United States approaches economic competition with China in the future. While the tariffs remain in place for now, the legal and political battles are far from over. Uncertainty now looms over U.S.-China economic relations, as both sides watch closely for the next move. The ripple effects of this court decision will be felt by businesses, workers, and consumers across the nation, shaping the future of global trade. As the dust settles, Americans everywhere are left to wonder how these changes will impact their daily lives and the broader economy. Emma Raducanu, after her stunning U.S. Open win, faces a tough climb back to the top. Stability in coaching, physical resilience, and mental strength are key to her comeback. Experts say diversifying her game and managing pressure will be crucial. The world watches as she works to reclaim her place among tennis's elite. Leicester City ended Birmingham's unbeaten run with a dominant display, reinforcing their Premier League ambitions. The match highlighted Leicester's experience and quality, sending a message to the league. For Birmingham, it's a reality check, but the season is long. The championship race remains wide open. Salford Red Devils shocked the rugby league world, defeating the favored Warrington Wolves. Grit, defense, and clinical finishing fueled the upset, injecting new belief into Salford's season. For Warrington, it's a wake-up call. The result proves anything can happen in sport.